Okay, so for this one, we have our subject is dogs. And what did they do? They bark. Okay, so we do then make sure we have this is our subject. And it is also a common noun. And what do? They bark. That's our action verb. And it's also our predicate. Okay, so for this one, we have a rather easy one. Our subject is, of course, Dorseyville Middle School. So we have to put it completely here. Some lazy people just put DMS. It is not homework.
You said that like a trillion times.
I did, right. Has closed. You guys never listen, that's why. Okay, so Dorseyville Middle School is our subject. It is a proper noun. Proper noun, make sure you're aware of that. Closed is our action verb. Has is our helping verb. Okay, and this forms a verb phrase. And of course, all of this is our predicate. So make sure you're aware of that. Helping verbs go on the same line, and you do have an example of that, so that should be easy. Okay, so for this one, we have the angry customer screamed. So we ask ourselves, what is this sentence about? It's about the customer. What did the customer do? Screamed. Okay, what do we know about this customer? It is the customer. We also know that the customer is angry. Okay, so this is an adjective or an article. Angry is an adjective. Screamed, oops, I forgot about customer. That's a common noun, and it's our part of our subject. Screamed is an action verb because it's something someone did, and that is our predicate. That's a rather easy one for you. Hopefully that works out. This one we have to draw our lines, of course. We need to draw our lines. Okay, let's move this over a little bit. And so we ask ourselves, what is this sentence about? It's about sister. Okay, what did my sister do? She ran. So that's our subject and verb. Then we say, well, what about the sister? It's my sister. So my would be here. And what else do we know about the sister? Oh, she's the older sister. So older would go on the line as well. What did she do? She ran. How did she run? Quickly. Okay, so that's how we would diagram this. And now we just have to add the parts of speech. Sister is a common noun. It's also in our subject. My is describing sister, so this is a possessive adjective. And she is older, and that's an adjective because it's describing sister. Ran is an action verb because it's what someone did. That's also part of our predicate. How did she run? Quickly, so it's describing a verb, so it must be an adverb. That's another easy one. Okay, so for this one we have the thrilled audience applauded quite loudly. So what's the sentence about? It's about the audience. What did the audience do? It applauded. So this is how you should do yours whenever you have the test. You ask about what the subject is, what did the subject do, and you have your subject and verb. What do we know about it, the audience? It is the audience. And what else about them? We know that it's a thrilled audience, so that's an adjective as well. Okay, and what did the audience do? It applauded. How did it applaud? Not quite, but it applauded loudly. Okay, how loudly? Quite loudly. So this is how we would do this one. So make sure you're taking note and understanding why. Audience is our common noun. It's our subject. What audience is it? That's an article or an adjective. The audience, what type of audience? It's a thrilled audience, so this is an adjective describing audience. It's also called a participle, which is a verb acting as an adjective. Applauded is an action verb. It's also part of our predicate. How did they applaud? Loudly. So that's an adverb describing a verb. And how loudly? Quite loudly. That's another adverb because adverbs describe other adverbs. That takes care of that one. Okay, this one is a little bit complicated, but you should have an example from your notes that would be helpful to you. So here's what we need to do first. We need to have our line there for the subject and predicate. So let's get those so set up. And then here we go with our items. The subject of the sentence is the child. Child. What did the child do? The child played. Okay, then we know a lot about the child. What child is it? It's the. What else? We know he's young. We also know he's innocent. And if you think about our notes, we had the conjunction joining this, so we would put and on a dotted line. Okay. What did the child do? Played. How did the child play? Quietly. And also played contently. And of course the and is connecting them again, so we put that there. So all we need to do then is parts of speech. Common noun, right? Subject. The is an article or an adjective. Young is an adjective. Innocent is an adjective. And is a conjunction. Played is the action verb. Predicate. How did he play? Quietly, so that's an adverb. Contently is an adverb. And is a conjunction. So that sums that one up. So you have the two adverbs joined with a conjunction, just like we have the two adjectives here. And you should have had an example of that in your notes. This has the implied subject. So the sentence says read slowly. So whoever is being spoken to would be the subject. So our subject is you, and it's implied because it doesn't actually appear. So that's how we would do that with the parentheses. And what are you doing? You read. How do you read? Slowly. Okay. So you is, we're going to start identifying parts of speech here. It's a pronoun. Okay. This is an implied subject. Read is an action verb. It's our predicate as well. Slowly is describing read, so it must be an adverb. That's how you wrap that one up. This is another one of those easy ones here. Target opened early yesterday, so what's the sentence about? It's about, it's about Target. So that's our subject. What did Target do? It opened. Target opened. When did it open? Yesterday. When yesterday? Early yesterday. So we have our subject. Subject. This is a proper noun, capitalized. It's the name of a store. What did Target do? Opened, so that's an action verb. It's also the predicate, part of the predicate. Yesterday is an adverb because it's telling us when it opened and how yesterday, early yesterday. So this is an adverb as well. Some people may say that you could put the early off of opened as well, and I guess you could argue that it's just describing when it opened early, but early is actually modifying yesterday in the sense of how it's being read. So that's why this would be the correct way to do it. the sentence, Mr. Ashbaugh sings very well. We know that our subject is Mr. Ashbaugh. Now, Mr., some people say, well, that's an adjective, but the subject of the sentence is Mr. Ashbaugh. That's his title. So that's why it's all on one line. What does he do? He sings. So that's our verb. How does he sing? He sings well. But how well? Very well. So that's how we would diagram this. Remember our labels here? It's a proper noun, capitalized. Subject, right? What does he do? He sings. So this is an action verb. Predicate. How does he sing? Well. So well is describing a verb, so it must be an adverb. How well? That's an adverb as well, because adverbs modify other adverbs. Another easy one. Take that. Okay, so this is the last one for here. And this is one from, I think, class. We did this actually in class. Cats and dogs fight often. We have the compound subject. So we don't forget we have to have it like this, where we have cats, dogs here. And no, I did not forget about the dotted lines that come down here. That's actually horrible. I should be ashamed of myself for putting something like that on there. There we go. And then we would put and on the line here. What do? They fight. When do they fight? Often. Okay, so common noun, conjunction. Subject of the sentence is all of this information here. What do? They fight. So that's my action verb. How do they fight, or when do they fight? Often. So that's an adverb because it's describing fight. And this is our predicate. So all of these examples, there'll be similar ones on the test. I would highly recommend that you just have a general and a good understanding of how you do this. And don't forget to see me or ask any questions.